Welcome to Tamara Tattletales. I'm Tamara, and I spill the tea on your favorite reality stars. Married at First Sight Season 14 Boston weddings are slowly happening. We are 5 hours into the season, not including the matchmaking episodes, and have only seen 3 weddings. Come on, Married at First Sight, do better. And a lot of the information they shared about each cast member in this episode has already been told in the casting episode and in episode 1, like why Olajuwon called himself Isaac, Jasmina feeling like men passed through her to get their emotions right, Katina tired of the party scene, and so on. This is the 3rd time we've heard these stories. It's like talking to somebody's grandma. Baby, did I ever tell you about the time I went to the store to buy pickle juice and the store clerk was rude to me? Yes, Grandma. Well, I'm gonna tell it again. Well, I'm not gonna drag this video out like they did with this episode, so here goes. It's wedding day for Jasmina and Picky Mickey. Picky is at the venue and he's still bringing up the fact that it's hard for him to be vulnerable. I'd like to say take a drink every time this man says vulnerable, but I'm not trying to promote getting sloppy drunk on my channel. Anyway, he has a nice moment with his brother and sisters when his brother pins a breast cancer heart on his lapel in honor of his mother. Lots of tears were shed by he and his family. You can tell they're a tight-knit family. Meanwhile, Jasmina, calling herself the test dummy for men, was getting ready with her sisters. As time went on, she was not okay. Stomach all upset. She was nervous, scared. She said, I was talking all that mess all week. I'm good. Well, I'm not good. Her mama was trying to give her a pep talk, but was struggling with it. Put your trust in everything you've seen growing up with me, things you learn from. Carry them into this journey with you and your new husband. Huh? Jasmina nodded like, yeah, Mom, I'm about to throw up on your shoes. She was taking deep breaths, trying to pull it together. Finally, it looked like she was getting on her mom's nerves, and her mom said, calm down. Jasmina's like, no, I'm not calm. But she worked up the nerve to walk down the aisle, just as cute as she could be. Picky was like, wow, she's out of my league. No, he just said, wow. She finally seemed a little less nervous, but it was hard to tell if she thought he was attractive or not. But she got jokes. She said, come here often? When it came to her vows, she had a great sense of humor. They started off funny. She said, I knew from the first time I saw you that you were the one. I'm going to start with things I can't promise. I can't promise that I won't eat food off your plate after I told you I don't want any. I can't promise I won't hog all the covers or take up all the space on the bed. I can't promise that I won't always squeeze the toothpaste from the bottom up. The rest of her vows were serious, and when she was done, she did a mic drop with her piece of paper. This is what this show needs, people with great senses of humor. As for Picky, he started with a few nice sentences, then got into his promises to her. I'll give you one guess as to what his first promise was.
So today, I promise to be vulnerable.
I'm telling you, I'm not making this up. This man seems traumatized by the idea of having to be vulnerable to the point that he has to say it like 36 times. I guess when you get to 40, it becomes a part of you. Is that how it works? Picky was super excited after the wedding and called Jasmina Black Barbie. That's actually not too far off. She does kind of look like Holiday Barbie from 2008. It was cute to see him holding up the train of her dress while she walked, but on the other hand, I was wondering why the dress didn't have a bustle. Now, when they sat down and popped the champagne, Michael poured it and just started drinking it. Jasmina was like, that's crazy. You're not gonna cheer, do a toast, nothing? You better refill that swig you just took and try it again. Love her funny outspokenness. Picky shares that he was trying to guess her name. He said, I thought your name would be Melissa, but then I shortened it to Mimi. Crazy, that's kind of close, right? And Jasmina's like, no, you were wrong. So finally, Picky comes up with a question. Have you ever been vulnerable? Just kidding. He said, what's your sleeping schedule? That seemed to get the ball rolling. Jasmina starts talking about watching Korean dramas late at night. Now, all the things they've repeated about these people, did they ever tell us she speaks Korean? Or maybe she's reading the subtitles. She asked Picky what shows he likes, and he's like, yeah, it's kind of crazy, but I don't really watch anything. I don't watch TV. He said he does go to the movies, though. Then panic strikes in Jasmina's face. Wait, you don't like Marvel? Picky's like, is this the end of our marriage? It did look like it was that serious. When they walked into the reception, Picky's best friend goes over to Jasmina and gives her a headlock embrace and says, welcome to the family, then breaks out into this speech. It's humbling to see my brother find the one he can finally be himself around, because Jasmina came out swinging, and I was like, that's the one, it's her. I'm like, simmer down now. They've only known each other for like 46 minutes. That friend was cute though. He was so excited. He was all up in the pictures with his hand on Picky's shoulder and whatnot. They finally asked Jasmina how she felt, like if she felt a spark. She said, I think there's a little spark, like real little. We haven't had much time to talk. Then she pinches her fingers together to gesture how little. You couldn't slide a piece of paper between her fingers. Girl, please, I had sparks with the guy I exchanged glances with in the cereal aisle at the grocery store yesterday. You don't need to talk to feel a spark. Looks like she's on the fence with him so far. Lindsey and Mark are at the reception taking photos. Lindsey said she's concerned about the 5 cat situation, but good thing is that his are close to death, so there's that. Poor Mark, trying to look at this situation as glass half full, saying that she's wild and full of energy, and because of her energy, I'll probably live longer. Meantime, Lindsey said, kissing my husband is so awkward. Are you coming in closed mouth or open mouth? Close, open. Close, open. Just give me a closed mouth. Yes, Mark, get this woman to close her mouth. Lindsey's dad is a trip. Of course, he loves his daughter, but I'm on the fence as to whether or not he likes her. He asked Mark, ever go gator hunting? Mark said no. Well, you have now. Lindsey pushes her dad aside, and it looks like the dad thought he was out of earshot and says to his son, it's like grabbing a crocodile by the tail. Damn, Daddy, Mark is in for a ride. She says she finds Mark incredibly attractive and thinks their chemistry is undeniable. But on the first episode of After Party, she called him a Guido and said he's completely not her type, and kissing him was like kissing her grandma. So I like Mark so far. He seems so ready and optimistic. Lindsey's still carrying on about their 5 cat situation.
I love that you love cats, but we gotta talk about that 5 cat situation. It's a lot of pussies in one house.
Katina and Olajuwon are shopping for their wedding outfits. Olajuwon and his frohawk are feeling confident, dropping profound statements like, our past is our past and our future is our future. His family seems very concerned that Isaac the Playboy is not dead and buried. When I think about it, he said he slowed down his partying ways and Isaac went away about 2 years ago. What happened to all of us about 2 years ago, like right around the beginning of 2020? Yeah, nobody was partying 2 years ago, and partying really hasn't been the same ever since. His family says, I hope she's ready for you because you're a lot. When he goes into the dressing room, his family carries on about how his expectations are too high. It's like they really don't see him being ready for marriage. Then later he comes out in a white tux and his family asks, you think you're gonna take your wife's breath away? Yeah, because I almost took my own. Know what I mean? Oh, Lord. So it's the wedding day, and Katina's mom is concerned that her husband will be all into her, and Katina will be like, meh. So she tries to give her advice to stay open and whatnot. Olajuwon gets super nervous and starts crying, but it's like an ugly cry, shoulders shaking, face turned red. He's super nervous. His sexy friend steps in and gives him the we got you no matter what, bro, pep talk. And then his sister joined in. This is your story. This is your destiny. You got this. They were like pumping him up like he was a prize fighter about to go into the ring. But it worked. Until he got outside and started thinking about it. What if she can't forgive my past? What if I hooked up with one of her friends? Dang, dude, you were out there like that? Katina's nervous too, but she heads down the aisle. It looked like she grabbed one of the centerpieces off the sweetheart table. That bouquet was huge. Is that the style now? Olajuwon was very happy with Katina's look. He shouted out to her, you are beautiful. Before she even made it to the altar, he said, I hope you like what you see. She was like, oh yeah, you're handsome. I'm nervous. I like your tux too. Good job. The officiant said, Olajuwon's family wants you to know that you are marrying Olajuwon, but we call him Tootie. Say what now? Why is this grown man nicknamed after a Facts of Life character? You can't just put that out there and then not tell the story. He continues to say, Olajuwon loves a home-cooked meal. I hope you are no stranger to the kitchen. She's like, uh-oh. He's like, well, we'll get it together. Strike one, Katina. Katina says her vows and Olajuwon says his. He says he's just gonna talk from his heart, but it looks like he memorized them. But either way, they both had nice vows. They say their I do's and it's time to exchange rings. Katina struggles to get his over his finger. Then Olajuwon gets down on one knee and says, will you marry me? She's like, I already did. So much for that romantic moment. Cute idea, Olajuwon, but you should have done that like at the beginning. Like timing is like everything. When it was time to kiss the bride, he was a gentleman and asked if he could kiss her, and she said yes. After they kissed, his lips kind of lingered and hung out there for a moment. He is so smitten. So they walk off, and Katina is asked how to pronounce his name, and she's like, Olajuwon. Child, you would think they were asking her to speak Chinese. It's not that hard. Olajuwon is showering her with compliments. I can tell that that's his love language because it really looked like he could use some compliments from her, but she was just awkwardly just taking his in. He's like, I would ask for another kiss, but I don't want to be can I have another one? He's charming, just like a good player should be. I'm sure he's being genuine, but to me, he expresses himself like he's at a club. 100% of me, if we go through it, good and bad times, open up. If I say something that bothers you, talk to me. You're my wife, you're not my girlfriend. I meant when I said in my vows, when I said I would protect you. Kay is like, oh wow, he has a strong personality. I hope I can handle his energy. I could use a shot soon. They go wedding outfit shopping. Steve is like, I just came off a 4-month road trip. Now I'm looking for free rent for 8 weeks. Just kidding. He didn't say the free rent part. But I'm still not feeling the no job situation. I need more information. Is he like a trust fund baby? Why does this show ignore the fact that finances can make or break a marriage? It's hard enough marrying a stranger, but a stranger with no job? That just doesn't sit right with me. Anyway, this couple is hard for me to talk about because I'm not excited about them. Noe's alter ego is named Noisy. She thinks Noisy is a bit of a diva because she wears a wig and tells dating stories. You just described me on a Tuesday. She's cute, he's nervous, she's nervous. They didn't get married yet. Moving on. This is a girl who already bought 10 wedding dresses. Why is she trying on more? Anyway, there's something about Chris's beard that isn't working for me. It looks scruffy, like it needs more definition or something. Chris says that marriage to him is not fixing a problem. It's like merging with another company. You can do better with a lot more money. When I walk down the aisle, I want her to say, now that's a man who makes good decisions. Now let's contrast Chris's entourage with Alyssa's. She and her people look like the type of women who would be insulted if Chris and his peanut gallery approached them. Dr. Viviana says, we paired Chris and Alyssa because they are both smart, confident, and know exactly what they want out of life. They will also enjoy introducing each other to their interests and hobbies. These are just a few reasons why we matched them. Oh, Dr. Viviana, this is a bad idea. Alyssa said she's always wanted to live on a farm